Alright, this is the 21C Digital Gottlieb 3D Pinball Machine by ToyShock. It's billed as 3/4 size. It looks considerably smaller than a normal pinball machine. I'm using my GoPro, so I have to hold my phone up to see what I'm actually recording here. It is a perfect size for a 4 or 5-year-old. Anyone older than that is going to have to sit down in a chair. I'm sitting on a rolling stool right now for the purposes of this video. And you can see the back box. The back box does have 4 score displays and a ball count. The play field is, I think it's a 23-inch monitor, 24 maybe, I forget. Huge bezel to make the machine look bigger. You've got flipper buttons on both sides. I'll put my phone right there. Flipper buttons and then tilt buttons. And then up front you've got your configure button, which is also a tilt button during gameplay, your action or your start button, your plunger, and then more over there. So the machines that it contains, sorry about the glare. Haunted House is the main one. Victory, Bone Busters, Lights, Camera, Action, Class of 1812, TX Sector, Big Shot, El Dorado, Centigrade 37, Black Hole, Jack's Open, Going Nuts. So it does have a nice selection. The HUD here can be turned on or off, but there's no reason to turn it off because it goes away once you start a game. So we'll go ahead and we'll start up a game of Haunted House by pressing the yellow button here on the front. Let me see if I can increase the volume. I just noticed the buttons are squeaking already. Considering as rarely as this game gets used, that's a little disconcerting. Oops, that one too many times. When we first got this in the office, everyone was excited about it until we played it 2 or 3 times, and then we just decided we didn't like it. The main problem with this game is that it's underpowered. So we'll start the game there. I'm actually really impressed. The plunger here, I'm going to have to take off my camera just so you can see it. But as I pull out the plunger, this is actually analog, which is really impressive. I was not expecting that. You will hear on the internet there's a delay pretty much with everything. Like I said, the processor they're using for this is just woefully underpowered for what it's doing. The way the ball moves, the responsiveness of the flippers, everything's just, I don't know, it's not running at normal speed. That's not to say it's not fun, not to say that it's unplayable. It just could be a lot better. There's a lot of room for improvement. Timing up shots is very difficult, especially if you're used to a normal pinball machine, because of the delay. And I'm not entirely sure the delay is because of the CPU in so much as the type of switches that are being used. And there's your high score display right on the top there. A normal pinball machine has reed switches. So there's pieces of metal, and then the button pushes in against those two pieces of metal, making contact. And even though you've got a 1/4 inch of play, the contact is actually made like an 1/8 or a 32nd of an inch in, where these, I believe, are just cheap arcade buttons, and they don't make contact until the end of stroke is completed, which, if you're used to a normal pinball machine, does take a little bit of getting used to. To set up a multiplayer game on this, and of course it's the camera making the display look all funky, it actually looks fine. You can't just hit the start button 4 times like you normally would. You have to go into the menu, then go into game setup, and then you can choose 4 players. And if you want to get out of a game, you pretty much have to just turn the machine off. The instructions are actually really neat. They're movies that actually move around the play field and show you what to do and what your targets are each step along the way. So if you're not sure where you're going or what you're supposed to do, it will actually tell you. And these are very well animated and very nice. And they're detailed too. I'm on page 9 of 305. So this will tell you everything you ever wanted to know about the pinball machine. If we go to Victory, Victory actually makes better use of the back box. It actually has words up there now and multiple scores. The high scores are there. All that stuff is missing on Haunted House, presumably because the original Haunted House didn't do that. I'm hoping the gameplay is coming through, because there are parts where you hit the ball and the ball's moving fast. I mean, the ball will travel an inch in between refreshes, which also makes it difficult to play. Like I said, it's just whatever processor they're using for this is just woefully, I cannot talk today. Woefully underpowered for what it's doing. It is a fun toy. It is a toy. It certainly does not qualify as a pinball machine, even a digital pinball machine if you've played. And the timer just went off, so alright. If you've ever played a real pinball machine, these are all getting ready to turn off because they're on timers. Or if you've played virtual pinball on your computer, you're going to be disappointed in this. Let me turn the machine back on real quick. Now there is a rumor floating around the internet that you can get a replacement PCB, printed circuit board, basically the brains inside it, that will
How about a game of dark?
That if you send in $10, they'll send you a replacement PCB that will make it much more responsive and faster and fix all the problems that people have been complaining about. I sent in my $10 like a month ago, and I'm out $10. I waste more than that on the lottery, so I'm not really that worried. I wanted to see what would happen. What happened is I have $10 less than I used to happen. So don't bother with that. This is actually the coolest thing about the machine right now. It actually plays Pinball Wizard as the track sound, which is really awesome, but the volume's so low you can't actually hear it. So it's sort of a worthless bonus. Assembly is super easy. The box itself is pre-assembled. All you have to do is put the legs on, put the back box up. The back box is held on by 4 wing screws, and the weight, I'm not sure how much it weighs, but I can move it around by myself, no problem. It is small. You're going to have a stool or something if you want to play it, because you don't want to be bent over. Some people put it up on pallets. That would also work. You can see there's quite a bit of glare on this, so it's just regular glass. Of course, this is a warehouse, so the amount of glare in this office is insane. Except for Twilight Zone, which has the special anti-glare glass, which is the best invention in the universe. I mean, you can just tell from Bright a Pinbot versus Twilight Zone, the difference in the glare is insane. I love this glass. I'm going to I'll probably wait another couple of months, but I did get the okay from the boss to try taking this apart and seeing what I can do with it as far as replacing it and making it a good virtual pinball machine. Because the cabinet itself is nice. I mean, yes, it's small, but it's still a nice cabinet, nice and solid. It's plastic, it feels like. The buttons and everything, like I said, they're not reed switches, which does take some away. But I think if you get a decent brain in there, then it'll actually work pretty good. The current price point of this is $400, which is way out of price. If you see one of these for $75 or $100, I would definitely get it. Again, it's not going to emulate a pinball machine. Supposedly they're going to come out with a version 2 of this, but who knows what is really going to happen. There's no way to contact anyone at ToyShock. Well, you can contact them, they just will never contact you back. And everything you read on the internet seems to be rumors or just plain old falsehoods. So $400 I would definitely pass. If you see it at a garage sale or something and it works, then it would be something cool to have around the house, especially if you have young kids. Like I said, my daughter loves it. She's 4, so I'm not sure how long she's going to love it for, but it's great for small kids. And that's it for that.